Representative Rye. For what purpose?
Mr. Speaker, move to recall House Bill 1390 from the governor's office, and it's my bill.
That's a proper motion. It is debatable. You're recognized to explain your motion.
It's good to be with you, and it's been a good session. I think that when we look at the overall picture, especially with our gun bills that we've gotten through, our safety bill, it's there's been a lot of players in this, Brent. Hard stuff to deal with for a couple of weeks. But I think that it's been a process of whipping things back and forth to the point that you actually say, this is as good as we're going to get. And I think that's where we're at. And, you know, you have to do things sometime that's going to, it's going to affect you. But I will say this. I think that for the overall good of all people that are in this room tonight, I think we need to do what's right. And I think that, you know, if you're going to be a good person, if you're going to love your state, you're going to have to do sometimes things that's good for the whole instead of just one person. And I appreciate everyone that's here in this room. Mr. Speaker, I appreciate you so much for working with us. But we need to go ahead on. And we've had a great session. And I don't see any point in dragging this out, especially from my end, because I'm for every one of us put together, and I appreciate you.
Representative Rye explained the motion. Would anyone like to speak against the motion? Representative Payton, you're recognized to speak against the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I love you, Johnny. I'll tell you what, I really appreciate Johnny Rye and his willingness to keep things simple for us, but I just couldn't let this go without saying a word or two. We had a great bill that passed out of this House, 1789, that went down in the Senate yesterday because of the muddy water that's been created over this veto and what we're doing here tonight and everything. I'd hate to lose another good bill, Johnny Rye's bill, because of the muddy water that's going on in the veto and the override and all the maneuvering that's been happening in the last 48 hours. House Bill 1390 passed out of this chamber and the Senate with a 3/4 majority. I appreciate, you know, we make deference for a member's bill and a member's own amendment and what they want to do with their bill. And I appreciate Johnny being kind enough to withdraw this whenever he was asked to. But folks, this is our bill. When we pass it with a 3/4 majority, it's no longer just the sponsor's bill. And so I'm going to vote not to recall it. And I'd appreciate you all vote the same. Thank you.
Representative Payton has spoken against the motion. Would anyone like to speak for the motion? Would anyone like to speak against the motion? Representative Rye is closed for the motion. The question before the House is the recall of House Bill 1390 from the governor's office. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. The ayes have it. Mr. Clerk, please read Senate Bill 699.